Attention, all my college comrades. The summer sun is just around the corner, and you know what that means. The water gets warmer, the skin gets darker, and the hair, well, gets pubier. Luckily, our friends at Manscaped are here to make that summer bod pop with their 4th generation performance package, which includes their signature Lawnmower 4.0. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for shaved boy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code TAGS, TAGS. Birthdays, weddings, graduations, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Denim Day? Look it up. Heck, finally inviting friends over for cocktails. There are a lot of spring occasions that you'll be celebrating. So why not celebrate with the gift of beer, wine, and spirits delivered in under 60 minutes with Drizzly? You're right, it's flawless logic. I've been using Drizzly now for the last couple of months. I love the convenience, and my favorite part is I put in my favorite wine or tequila, and Drizzly finds all the stores that carry them and compares prices. It's literally my go-to in a pinch. Well, right now, Drizzly is giving all new customers $5 off their first order with the code SPRING5. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com and use promo code SPRING5. That's spring with the number 5 for $5 off your first order. What is going on? You are listening to TAGSPodcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. I'm your host, Steve V, and this is episode 359 alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Not bad when we record this on a Monday. Joining us, of course, is Kodi, Maurice, Doggette. How the hell are you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. So good to hear your beautiful voices today.
Yes, absolutely. And hello, Australia. I've been wanting to say that all day. You know, we get these charts on how we're doing in different parts of the world, and they always come out Monday afternoon before we record the show. And I'm always like, how are we doing here? How are we doing in, America?
Mm-hmm.
But Australia, we climbed 78 spots on sexuality podcasts.
Say what?
Wow, that's awesome.
To make our way to number 58, which is pretty good. And so, hello, Australia. We see you. So message us. And guess what? You can message us, DM us again on Instagram, because guess what? We got our Instagram back. If you haven't heard, we were hacked, and it's been a tumultuous few days.
Whew.
As anybody knows that's ever been hacked, it's tumultuous in so many ways. It just, even when you try and put it in the back of your mind, like there's nothing I can do, I've done everything I can do.
Yeah.
You're getting messages from friends and listeners of what's going on. Did you send me this? Or worse, you guys, over the weekend, I'm getting messages on, I see you posted a pic, though, a thirsty pic. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what have they posted of me? Like, is it a nude? Do they have access to my phone? I don't know. And I looked, and it was this, like a screen capture of me when I've done for Wednesday, say I'll do, hey, listen to us for Tags Live.
Uh-huh.
And it's like me shirtless. And one of my best friends in LA was even like, oh, but I thought you got your account back on Friday because I saw you posted a story. I'm like, right. But if you looked at the caption, it was weekend videos. And it was like, have you ever known and spelled videos like VIDEEZ?
Girl,
like
no.
all of a sudden, this is how Steve V talks, like
No.
just kind of like weekend vids, yeah, with a brewski. Here we go, party people. Like, is that really me?
No.
And this is one of my best friends, but I was like, no. So fortunately, we got through face recognition, you all. And if anybody really needs help on getting your account back, because I really am convinced I know for a fact it is Nigeria. It's people in Nigeria doing this for a fact. Why do I know this? Because there's a lot of stories on on the underground market in Nigeria doing this, and also because there was a Nigeria phone number in my account. I had to scrub that away. I had to scrub an email. They changed all my settings when I finally got my account back. It was so gross.
That is so annoying, and I can't believe people have time to do that.
Yeah, I tried to, on my personal account, confront the hacker, because you know how I can be kind of like,
why?
and I was like, because I was like, they were like, how you doing? I'm like, good, how are you? How's your weekend going? Great. I'm having a great weekend. How's your weekend going? And I kept that going, child, for a minute, because I was like, I want to see how far this can go, because now I'm going to bait and catfish you, motherfucker. Until finally I said, you loser motherfucker who has no fucking life. And they deep pause, and then we're like, fuck you. And I said, fuck you. I'm like, and then they said, then here's what I'm like, here it comes. The homophobia began. Why do you think, as a gay person, that you think you are important in this? I'm like, because I motherfucking am, and I am, and you are a fucking loser with no life. And I blocked them right immediately, so they couldn't even respond.
Wow.
And then I got my account back and wiped away Nigeria. Not the people of Nigeria, but the hackers of Nigeria. Yes. We love the people of Nigeria. Just the hackers. Sorry. Yeah. Crazy. There's bad people everywhere.
Yeah.
And finally got it back. But, it's left a paranoia in me a little bit, just because, even today, somebody was responding back to the hacker now that I have control over it. And I was confused. I'm like, oh no, do they think it's like, I'm like, is it me? I mean, but I'm pretty convinced I have it back. And it's just, but you're right, Jeremy. It's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they think they're gaining out of it, but I'm convinced.
I don't either. It's just it's like an empty hole, unless they're living vicariously through our like gay network because they're not out of the closet, which could be another like possibility, but I don't know.
Well, also what they do is they reach out to people and they ask for money. So I think that is something that could have, I don't know if they reached out to anybody, but I know that is the thing that the hackers do. So I just want to warn everybody, don't give anybody any money over the internet. Okay? Lesson number one.
Here's where just, I'm not going to use put a pin in it, but here's, because I hate that saying, but here's where I think that they got me, because we are literally nominated for a CyberSocket award. Mm-hmm. And the original person that reached out to me said, hey, Steve, and this was a friend to the show. In fact, they've been on the show before, on Tags Live before. And so we're acquaintances, not necessarily, I mean, we're friends, but I've never met them in person. But they reached out to me via this and said, I'm up for an ambassadorship award type thing, and would you vote for me? And I was so in my mind of our CyberSocket award that I thought, oh my God, yes, of course. And I, cheekily said, as long as you vote for me. Well, I would have voted for him anyway, but I think I was just caught up in that moment. Mm-hmm. And that's why I copied a link that they sent me, which I, in my right mind, would never do. Yeah. I think I was just in a different place. And so that's where I got. The sad part is that the good part is we really are nominated for something. Mm-hmm. And that's where I want everybody to know, we are back, and please vote for us. You have till May 5th, because we're nominated for Best Sex Podcast by cybersocket.com. And you guys can vote by May 5th by going to cybersocketawards.com. And the show, Talk About Gay Sex, is nominated there. So I'm going to go, you guys. And
you are?
Yay.
I booked my ticket. I figured, why not? My old stomping ground is Los Angeles, so it's not that far-fetched. Mm-hmm. And I thought, even if we don't win, but I hope we do, so vote for us.
No, we're going to win.
We're nominated. And I thought, I really want to go. And also, my best friend who lives out there bought a new house 6 months ago, and I haven't even seen it. And I feel I've been wanting to see it anyway. So it's a good chance to go out there and visit him, see some friends, get out because of my ankle. I haven't been out at all, and now I can go. Mm-hmm. And go to this award show in May 24th on Tuesday. at I think it's called Heart Bar. So I'm really excited to go to it, and I'll report on it. But please vote for us. It would mean a lot. Yeah. While I'm there, there is a new law that I want you guys to weigh in on. There's a new law charging people $500 for sending unsolicited nude pics in Virginia. And you could be charged $500 for it. Legislators in the General Assembly have passed a bill saying anyone over 18 who sends a nude photo to another person over 18 without their consent can be fined $500. So many of our stories tonight are all about going backwards, sadly. We have some positivity coming through, like we're nominated. But it got me thinking. So there's a guy in LA that we used to be fuck buddies, and it was great sex, and he's very sexy. And in fact, you guys, since we're not in Virginia, I'm going to put it in our group text right now to send you the picture he sent me.
Okay.
So you guys can see the picture that he sent me, and he still looks great, and he wants to get with me. And he's a former dancer, and he's still looking good himself. Jeremy, did you get it?
Yeah, he's cute.
He's cute. Yeah.
Let me make this big. I gotta enhance a photo.
He's got a really big
I don't
dick,
like the
too.
yellow bedding, but
yeah, maybe a little sloppy, but the bed is nice. Okay, interior designer over there. And we see you, Jeremy. But the bed's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And he lives on the beach, which is really cool. Like those doors right there open onto the beach. He essentially, if this was Virginia, I could sue him for $500 and maybe get $500 out of it. Thank God it's not Virginia, though, because I didn't. And by the way, I didn't ask for this picture when he started communicating with me. He saw a post and he said, "Hey, it's been so long. And when are you coming to LA?" And I said, "Oh, I thought I was going to come in April. And then I thought I was going to come in July. And then finally, hopefully I will come in reality when I see him. And I'm coming in May. So I think I'm going to get together with him, and we're going to have dinner and hang out too, or lunch. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. But what do you think of this law?
When are you going, and what month is it?
So May, next month, we're going. It's May. I leave. I think it's May 23rd. On Monday I leave, and the award ceremony is on May 24th. So I'll be there through Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yes, and I'm going to go to Palm Springs as well, so it should be good. But what do you think of this? I mean, are we going backwards, Jeremy, when you see that it just... I mean, when you get an unsolicited nude, do you mind? Or
no,
what's your thoughts?
I don't care. I mean, I feel like it's so... like not passe, but it's just like so expected, and it doesn't really catch me off guard. And if I don't like it, I just ignore it.
Yeah, exactly. What's your thoughts on this, Kodi?
I think it's fine. I used to always send nudes when I was single, but now I have a boyfriend and I get to send him nudes. So, and he doesn't reject them. Hopefully he doesn't charge me $500 per nude. Maybe I should charge him though.
Okay, you could have a little internal Virginia system going on in Brooklyn. Yeah.
I wonder if they do any research on it, and like how they come to the conclusion that you're like able to be charged the amount.
I bet. Well, it's such a stupid thing anyway. Like, what a waste of state funds to focus on this.
I know, policing the nudity.
I know, right?
Right. First of all, why is this person getting it in the first place? Do you think this is more centered around women
Probably.
in general?
Yeah.
But a lot of the women I know, even though they don't like getting this, like my sister's, she's not the biggest. She loves looking at her friends who get dick pics when they show her.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not like totally into getting dick pic stuff for her. And so, but she wouldn't, I don't think, want to sue somebody. I just think it's a conservative agenda is what it sounds like.
I mean, all you have to do is say, "Oh, that's lovely. I appreciate your nude, but I'd rather not see it."
I politely decline.
Oh, speaking of politely decline, have you ever been on the train and somebody airdropped you a nude?
Yeah, I was at this
What?
Mark
Yes.
Anthony. I was at a Mark Anthony concert and my Bluetooth was on, and some like teenage boys airdropped a photo of them
What?
like at the urinal standing there, but like not dick. It was just their faces with their braces, and I was just like, ew, that's so corny.
Wait, was it a mistake?
No, they did it on purpose. People literally airdrop shit all the time. Like if you, Steve, go on the subway ever, or just leave your Bluetooth on all the time, you will definitely get airdrops in New York because people do it all the time.
All the
Not
Oh
just on the
my.
train, but like literally all over the city.
Because I'm panicked when I'm airdropping, because I'm always, for the show, we're always promoting this, and I'm going from my phone to my laptop to my phone. So I'm airdropping left and right. And every so often, Julie at 13578 pops up to airdrop. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And I'm literally airdropping podcast stuff, no nude stuff, but I'm like frozen and said, do not move the wine glass. Be careful what you do right now. Press that button. Do not send over. And it's not even anything like that's that bad.
Yeah.
But, and here people you're telling me are just airdropping left and right. Fun, like dick. I would love to get a dick pic in there.
It happened.
I would want to know whose it's attached to.
I know that's the problem with airdrop is you can't, like, if it's total strangers, there's no way to contact them, like, at all. Unless you can see them like close by, but
yeah,
it's
usually
usually
it's just the dick.
Yeah, it's usually like discreet.
So find the dick and place it on the person.
With a mask on
you
and
go around
clothes.
with you go around with your phone and like, is this you? Is this you matching it up to their crotch? That'd be hilarious.
Oh my God. Yes, it would be. Oh my God. Well, Kodi, you and I saw the finale of Drag Race
So
at
much fun.
Rebar, which was a lot of fun. But did you know that actor Oscar Isaac is a Drag Race fan and was in a Brooklyn bar Metropolitan watching it recently? I think it's so cool. Do you know Oscar Isaac?
Oh yes, I love him. He's the new Moon Knight on Disney Plus. It's a comic book TV show. So I love him. And when I saw this story, because I saw it over the weekend, I said, why did we go to Metropolitan to watch it? But we will see him hopefully during All Stars, and I'm going to be searching for Oscar Isaac this whole time. All right.
Yeah, I mean he's really handsome actor. He was in Dune, which I watched. Not a huge fan of it. He was in Star Wars, Rise of the Resistance, Addams Family, but he was in something, Jeremy, you might like, Scenes from a Marriage, which was interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the actress that you really like a lot, that's gorgeous, Jessica Chastain.
Oh yes, the redhead. I love her.
Yeah, and it's a deep, hard look at marriage and a couple that's kind of in trouble. But
what is it on?
I believe HBO.
Okay,
it's rough. HBO Max.
It's called Scenes of Marriage.
Scenes from a Marriage.
Oh, okay.
And they're in issue land right now with their marriage, and it's brutally honest, but rough.
Lord.
Yeah, but he can kind of do everything, which is kind of exciting, including be seen. And I put him now in the ally category.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's so hot too, sexy. I think he's kind of he was there with his wife who filmed him on her Instagram account, and I think that's pretty cool. I think in a state right now, a lot of the stories we're talking about, a lot of the stories, if you guys just look at the gay press these days, are on like we're turning a backwards curve, sadly, and we're going backwards in the states of homophobia and all the things that we've fought so hard for are being retracted. Mm-hmm. So it's great when, listen, I will take it. If I see Oscar Isaac at Metropolitan in Brooklyn, I will give him a high five for sure. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's move on. And in other sad news, a man was arrested after threatening to bomb Merriam-Webster's offices over LGBTQ plus inclusive definitions. So, a man has been arrested for threatening to harm the staff at Merriam-Webster over LGBTQ plus inclusive definitions. And Jeremy David Hansen was charged with one count of interstate communication of threats to commit violence. He essentially put in the contact us at Merriam and that he he also used the comment section of words like girl, woman, boy, and trans woman to spread anti-LGBTQ plus hate. In one of his posts, he wrote, "It is absolutely sickening that Merriam-Webster now tells blatant lies and promotes anti-science propaganda.
Oh, wow.
There is no such thing as gender identity," he said. He wrote, "The entries should be hunted down and shot." And that's where
What?
they closed, Merriam-Webster closed their
Damn.
offices for 5 days. Hate-filled threats and intimidations have no place in our society. This is Merriam-Webster. We believe Hansen sent a multitude of anonymous, threatening, and despicable messages related to LGBTQ community that were intended to evoke fear and division. Yeah, it's just really happening right now. There was, in other news, and then I want to get you guys to weigh in, a professor who wouldn't use trans students' pronouns won $400,000 in the settlement. So essentially, this professor at Shawnee, a small public university in Ohio, agreed last week to pay one of its professors $400,000 after it rebuked him for refusing to use a transgender student's preferred pronouns. So Shawnee State University in Portsmouth, roughly 85 miles south of Columbus, warned Nicholas Merriweather, a philosophy professor, in 2018 about not using the pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
In response, Merriweather, who is an evangelical Christian, filed a federal lawsuit against the university that year, contending that officials violated its constitutional rights by compelling him to speak in a way that contradicts his religious beliefs. And he won in that case and won $400,000 in the settlement. So, Jeremy, when you hear stories like this, I mean, do you think it's cyclical and we're somehow going backwards?
It is. I think in certain parts of the United States, I think it is definitely still not forward or progressive, especially in middle America. And it's sad to hear that like they would even win against something like that.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why you would even ask the pronouns if you're not going to use them.
Yeah, it's interesting to me too because Kodi, it's when I went to school, we didn't say any, I was hiding for fear of being outed as gay or anybody thinking there was huge homophobia. It was the AIDS era. It was the 80s but so there was plenty of hate, but you would think, and then if I feel like we went through a period where it was, it's cool to be gay and inclusiveness was coming about. But now I just feel in the last 5 years we're just retrograding. Say that word.
You got it, girl. So yeah, I agree with you, especially when the last administration was in effect. I think that emboldened a lot of people to actually come out and show their true colors, and it took the country back a bunch of steps. And honestly, how hard is it to be kind to other people by affirming who they are, their identity? It's not really that difficult, if you ask me. What if we talked to this person that had such a problem using this other person's pronouns and said, we didn't affirm his identity by calling him something that he didn't want to be called? That he wouldn't like that at all. So he needs to do what his God says and turn the other cheek and do unto others as he would do unto them, however that saying goes.
Yeah.
And just
I also don't
respect
find
other
that like
people.
the conversations would entail that they need to say the pronouns so much. You know what I mean? Like say their first
Right.
name, call them by their name,
Yeah.
and then get on with the rest of your class. Like you're a fucking teacher and you're really dwelling on the pronouns and they're against your religion. I just think it's so pathetic.
Yeah.
It's really yes, it's very integral because they did scold this professor, and he essentially, if you look at it in a different light, he doesn't believe in the biology that there's other genders. So he's already from the mindset. So in his mind, according to what I'm reading here, he doesn't believe that there are other genders. There's two genders only, right? And so from a biological standpoint is how he's talking about it. But get with the times, and people are identifying with a different gender. And so and then there's the school that it's a conservative school, and the conservative school decided to scold him. Well, he then took it to the court. It sounds like it got out of control on so many levels from both sides, really, to be really honest.
Yeah.
I think, because do you really care what your professor calls you? I mean, I know my professors in my school didn't. It was Berkeley, UC Berkeley. They didn't even know my name. They gave me a grade, and so I don't know that it was really that relevant. But but what were you going to say, Kodi?
I was going to say, I think that there is room for compromise on both ends. Like you were saying, maybe both sides went too far. I think it comes down to respect at the end of the day. And I think that there is a way for them to meet in the middle. As much as I hate to give people like that want to disrespect us and our identity, our LGBTQ plus identity, any ground to disrespect us, I think that there is a way for that professor to respect that other person's gender identity. Maybe call them they.
And maybe that comes to what Jeremy. Well, or maybe what Jeremy was even saying, maybe call me by your name.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like Lil Nas
So
said.
if the student's name is Jennifer
Yeah.
now, or Jenny, then call them by Jenny, whatever they are,
Yeah.
and avoid all of that. Just call them by their name, people. Okay, there's a movie by that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Moving on, I want to know what you guys think of this filter that's happening went away on Instagram. Oh, Kodi, your boyfriend just texted me.
What? Why?
I'm coming to his birthday, and he just told me yay.
Oh, okay, fabulous.
Yeah,
You
but
just walked in here too, so I'm like, get out.
As TikTok consumes the world, the gay meter meme has been seen on feeds of both straight and queer influencers. This is courtesy of the gay meter effect on Instagram. Have you heard of this? The gayometer?
No, what's
It's all
No.
about determining how gay you are. But they asked the question on an article by Queerty, is this fun or harmful? Well, how does it work? Here's how to. Unfortunately, Instagram has deleted the gay meter filter from its website and app. So that should tell you a little bit where we're going with this story. The reason why is still unknown. However, you can still see creators using the Instagram test on TikTok, as it's still available in TikTok's beta version. Since the gay meter effect is no longer on Instagram, you can do things to find versions of it. But how does it work on TikTok? Well, the premise of the gay vibes filter, which is similar, is the same as any other gay meter effect. Instead of a percentage of how gay you are, it rates you on a scale of 1 to 10. Meanwhile, the LGBTIQ plus vibes filter is a gay meter filter that tells you how much gay vibes you give off in percentages. So do you guys get it? There are these things you go on there and they kind of rate you.
Yeah.
You go on these. First of all, I'm not doing this at all. Any of the challenges that have been around, the 10-year challenge, the this, the that, I don't want people judging me. I judge myself enough, guys. I really do. I want to be known for my work, and I am always looking for the positive reactions, but occasionally we'll get something, and I take it in stride, depending on. But I don't want to put myself up for a filter that then is going to rate me on how gay I am or not. Jeremy, what do you think of this?
I think it's so stupid, and I have no interest in it whatsoever.
You know you're gay, and you don't need somebody telling you. And I don't know, what do you think? Do you think this is healthy or not healthy?
I
Because
just think it sounds like a waste of time. It's stupid.
right, like we
I
have no
don't
one.
care about what your rating is for my level of gay.
Right, and what would that mean too?
And where do you take it to? Like, where do you go after that? Like, who do you
Right.
report it to? Why would you want feedback on it? Like,
You
it just
block it is what you do.
it
You block
sounds
it. Like
irrelevant
I
to
block.
me.
Yeah.
You give it to the
Yes.
gay
That's
agency, the gay
reductive,
agenda. That's
Jeremy.
the...
As an insta-gay, Kodi, what do you think?
I'm breaking this
You
filter.
What are your thoughts on this?
I think I agree with Jeremy. It's kind of dumb. And you know what? I don't see why people have to do this, like the whole how gay are you? Why does it even matter? That's it's ridiculous, kind of, sorta. And anything, it can be used as a tool for either good or bad. And I think that unfortunately there's too many people out there willing to use it for in a way that's harmful to other people. So yes, just please take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we were looking at the positive side of it, for those that embrace, super gay, and I think it's great if you want to be proud of yourself. But again, this isn't an official contest. I'm all for awards and this and that, but like you're being awarded for how gay you are or not, because you could look at it in two different ways. For all those that put mask for mask on
Yeah.
their Grindr posts, they are going to not want you to be that gay in their mind, and then therefore it is a negative thing. And for those that are on the other end of the spectrum that want to celebrate it, it could be used as a target. You could be a target, and then homophobic target. And so I don't know how this is a good thing. And why do we need our rating? We already body shame enough, and we already do a lot of these other things. I don't think we need a rate on how gay you are or not. And who's deciding, by the way? I think it's an algorithm, by the way. So
Really? It gets that in
it's
depth? It's not just random?
it's an out, yeah, because you're going on the apps, and it's like an algorithm that's dissecting your picture
Oh,
away. So it's not even really
really?
people. Yeah, they're scanning the picture that you posted. So if you posted you at, gay ice cream or whatever, rainbow ice cream with rainbow socks on and a bandana and short shorts, you're
I
going to
have that
probably get a
picture.
10 out of a 10.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Yeah, and if you're like saying yes, Queen, then you're super gay and you're 100%. I don't know, but it's an algorithm, is
Okay.
how it is.
Hey guys, your buddy Steve V here, and asking the question, why is it so important for me to manscape in the summer? Well, first of all, it will accentuate all my hard work and spring workout training. I feel cleaner and fresh while ready to mingle in the summer sun. And it's that little extra care that I take for myself that makes me feel ready for any situation or person I may come in contact with, if you know what I mean. Let's be real though, nobody likes to be the hairy guy at the beach rave. It's time to bundle up with the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, the Performance Boxer briefs, and their Shed travel bag to hold your goodies. First off, the Performance Package 4.0 includes the Lawnmower 4.0, and this trimmer was designed with the summer intentions in mind. This fourth generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade so it reduces grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on and off switch, can engage a travel lock, and gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? Manscaped even has you covered with their signature crop mop ball wipes for any, dare I say, spontaneous decisions. Want to take it up a notch? Manscaped Shears 2.0 is an all-encompassing nail kit to tackle those gross sandal nails you might acquire. Seal the deal with Manscaped liquid formulations. Before heading outside, use Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant to keep you on your game with the heat. For any on-the-go ball sweats, freshen up with Manscaped's Crop Reviver and hop back into the mix with confidence. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts with their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Premium Boxers, and the Shed Travel Bag. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code TAGS, T-A-G-S, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code TAGS, T-A-G-S, at manscaped.com. It's time to trim off those spring flowers this summer and give your beach balls a shine with Manscaped. Oh my goodness. Talk about craziness. We've got some advice to give from Jake is wrote into us and asked the question. This is a simple one, and I want to hear from you guys. Any advice for a newbie using Grindr, and what were your guys' first experiences or stories with the app? I mean, I can tell you already, I always say I don't do that well on the apps, and like my best luck is with an oldie but a goodie who I'm gonna hopefully hook up with when I go to LA. But we met in person, so I might not be the best person. But Jeremy, what advice to a newbie who's using Grindr would you give, and what's maybe one of your first experiences or stories with the app?
I don't remember my first experiences because it's been so long,
I was
but
just thinking
I
that.
honestly
At the ripe old age of 31.
but I honestly think that one thing I've definitely gotten better at is weeding out like people that actually don't have any interest in really meeting, and also just trying to weed out like creepy people and just I don't know, just people that are faking it. And I always ask for like more photos, not like collecting photos, but just like more current pictures and like sometimes a phone number and just things to like maybe filter out the like riffraff that you can run into when using these types of apps.
Well, two of the things that you said, it's such a good time if you are getting into Grindr, because if you are going to share photos, there's a way to share a album that will
Right.
I was going to say fade away, but
Mhm.
it's not fade away. It'll disappear after a certain amount of time. And that's really kind of comforting, I think, and a good time to be in Grindr universe right now, because if there's certain things on there that you didn't want to share, then you wouldn't have to worry. It could disappear and they can't, where there's a will, there's a way, but in general, you're going to be pretty safe. The other thing you said about the person never wanting to get together, I was reading a Reddit thread earlier before we went on, and it was just that. But sometimes people don't get together, and I related to this person because of anxiety. So when a lot of people get mad at, oh, this person, talked to me and then they flaked in the end. Sometimes, and I could kind of relate to this, it has to do with anxiety. Like there's so much anxiety of meeting somebody that they just can't ultimately do it. And that's where I think, looking at it from a different angle, if you can really just communicate more and communicate with people, whether it's just going to be a sleeping together situation or hanging out, either way, you can get to know them a little bit, because
Mhm.
and develop that so that they feel comfortable and you feel comfortable, that when you ultimately meet, it's not going to be an anxiety driven situation. Kodi, what are your thoughts on an advice for Jake?
I say, just like Jeremy said, make sure that you talk to the people beforehand. That way, it's an easy way to authenticate people and make sure they are who they say they are. Because just like we experienced, people are out there living that catfish life. So make sure that you do that. Also, just have fun with it. Reach out to as many people as humanly possible. If you find them attractive, reach out to them. I found my boyfriend on Grindr, as we all know, and I think that you never know what can come from it. It's a wealth of opportunities. So I say, just reach out to everybody that you find attractive on there. I was trying to strain my brain to figure out when was the first time I used Grindr, and it was literally so long ago. I'm like, what? I don't even know. I've been through like 5 iterations of Grindr, so I'm finally off, but I can't even think of the
Yeah, I
first time.
know. I can't remember the early stories that I
Yeah.
had on there. But again, I don't really have a lot of great stories on there. I mean, I could tell we could do it. You can ask us, Jake, another question about first hookups and that, because I have plenty of stories on that. I just don't have a whole lot on Grinder, and I was even thinking in Scruff, but yeah, I don't know. But we'll think on that. I hope that helps though, but really just kind of talk to the people and don't be afraid to meet people. Yeah, because I was reading another Reddit thread of a person that lived with their parents. They were young
Mm-hmm.
in a city that doesn't have a lot of gay bars, and they were going to somebody they were talking to, they wanted to meet in a car at night. We've talked about this on the show before. Don't do something like that. I think
Yeah.
because
Don't do that.
it's just yeah, meet in daylight, meet in a public situation. If they really want to be with you, they will do it. And you can assess them, and then find somebody to give your number or give a friend, have a backups that, knows where you're at
Share your
too. Because,
location. There's so
yep,
many ways that you can make sure that you're safe. Please be as safe as possible.
right.
People are getting
And
attacked.
this is important too, because people often are not in the big city where it's just, oh yeah, just meet down the street at the local gay bar. It's not always that easy. So there's parks and there's other places to meet where you do not become another stat.
Hmm.
So, okay. This kind of caught my attention, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion. It was a Reddit thread where they asked the question, does anyone else find the summer season depressing? Well, hear them out, because like summer depressing. What?
I was like,
Um,
Snoopy voice.
and as I'm reading it, another person just responded on there because it's a Reddit thread. It's already starting, they write. All the straight and gay couples are starting to travel for vacations and uploading their photos with each other. Kodi. In the meet,
Like guilty.
point your finger at Kodi. In the meantime, I'm staying at home and getting reminded constantly that I am alone. Again this year, like every year before. I think how nice it would be to have a boyfriend and go on vacation together, but I guess it's just not happening. Some of the people on there wrote things like, go on vacation by yourself or with a
Yeah.
friend. Nothing changes it. All you do at home is feeling bad for yourself. And here's the one that I really appreciated: get off social media. I ditched Facebook, Twitter, Instagram back in 2019, and it did wonders for my mental health. I don't know that you have to go as an extreme, but maybe you do,
Yeah.
Jeremy, when you write something like this that everybody seems, it's assuming that they're probably seeing everybody on Instagram, right, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Or social media.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your thoughts on this for this person?
I enjoy like the sunny weather and stuff like that. I feel like I am more like solemn during the winter months, so I think just getting out and getting sun is really just a healthy thing to do, and I don't really dwell on the fact that other people are in relationships or not. And I think that it helps to, if you are looking for like anything, a friend or a relationship or any of that, it helps to be in social settings. And I think that warmer weather is the perfect time for that. So whether it be like a carnival or like an outdoor beer garden or even just
Ooh.
outdoor tables at Starbucks. I mean, all of that, sidewalk tables at restaurants, all of that is like a great place to try and connect with other people, whether it be sexually, just for conversation, friendly. I think you have many options when the weather's better.
Mm-hmm.
Such great advice. And you know what? Sun, that's an interesting point too, because sun to me is life. And
Definitely.
not to get too spiritual on Tag's podcast here, but
Do it,
I
girl.
meditate now. I meditate every day and in the morning, 10 minutes, and it just gets kind of sets my day. But I meditate, I have a book on the power of the sun and the planets on and the energy that you can get from them. And I often ask for energy of the sun. And we all know how much life and you can get just by getting a little bit of sun if you can. We live on the East Coast when we record this show here, and we don't get a lot of sun like a lot of other parts on the West Coast where I'm from. A sadist here. I moved over to the East Coast, and I got plenty of sun, but honestly, I moderated it. But I think you can meditate, and I just think right. Somebody also pointed out too, to your point, that I don't. The thing about the couplehood is be careful what you wish for, because somebody else wrote, not all couples are happy, especially when they travel. It can
Ooh.
be a shit show. And I agree too. I've made the mistake. Jeremy can attest to this. I've
Yeah.
gone on one too many times on a trip with a boyfriend. And I should have thought through the relationship a little bit more before I did this, because I probably would have had a lot more fun with my friends than going with this person, because I kind of knew both relationships, one more than the other, was kind of having problems. And I'm one of those that they show when we're together for a long period of time on a vacation, on holiday, as I
Clear
like to
day.
say. Yes. And yeah. Kodi, what are your thoughts on this and in the man in the relationship?
Well, I am gonna block that guy because I don't want him to see all my happy pictures of when I'm on vacation with my boyfriend. I think that the summertime is amazing. I can't wait to go out and wear as little as possible with my boyfriend. It's a little bit gloomy here right now, and I'm kind of in the doldrums. I'm like, "Ugh, I can't wait for the sun to come out and for summer to get here so that I can go out, enjoy my friends." There are so many more relationships than just a romantic relationship. Go do something with friends. Go get a dog. I don't even really like dogs, but go get a dog. Go play with your dog out in the sun. You don't need to let some not having a boyfriend get you down. There's so many other connections that you can make out there.
And good point too, because when you really do, it's summertime, and sun moments are a great time to explore your city and explore life in general. And that's if you I think the times when you're not worried about trying to obtain a boyfriend is when you will meet people.
Yeah.
If you put the intention out there that you want to I put the intention out there that I want to connect with people,
Mm.
and connecting with people can mean my doorman, which I have lovely conversations with, the people in the grocery store. Wherever I go, I'm put that intention out there every day that I want to connect. And sometimes it's somebody attractive that I'm into as well. But it has to
Hey.
be a universal theme. I think if you're so bombarded, if you're having a little bit of, dare I say, jealousy of seeing, couples, then you need to put it out there that, either A, get off social media and not look, compare yourself, because you can't do that. I mean, I think we say that enough, and we'll continue to say it, because I think that's a rut that many of us are in, is comparing ourselves. And it's just a rabbit hole to destructive behavior.
Yeah, and those negative vibes come back to you. So make sure that you keep positive vibes only.
Well, this next Reddit thread caught my attention, and it was really kind of interesting because I don't know that I ever thought about it, but they asked the question, what jobs are deal breakers for a romantic connection? Guys had a lot to say on this because everybody, of course, has to bring home the bacon, but somehow certain jobs can be a turn off. Reddit's Ask Gay Bros forum went all professional on this one with deal breaker relationships. Here's some of the things that some people said, and then I want to hear from you guys. It depends on the individual. As someone who grew up poor, I would be less concerned about his job and more about income. If he makes enough to support himself and put some into savings while making good financial choices, that's attractive. I don't want to end up supporting someone again, so this is important to me. Oh, again. We know where that one's coming from.
Yeah.
Then somebody wrote, the biggest deal breaker is, okay, again, no job at all with no plans of getting one. That sounds dour. And yeah, I kind of agree with that. Somebody else wrote, I'm not going to ask for someone's LinkedIn profile and call up their past and current employees asking if you're a good worker or not. There's a reason why a lot of workaholics struggle to have and maintain relationships. It's a totally different ballpark. And for those who say finance affect relationships, they can if you let them, and if you don't believe they can be fixed and improved. Character, beliefs, and compatibility are much harder to change than financial status.
That's right.
Okay.
Get it.
Somebody wrote a multi-level marketer. Somebody wrote a drug runner. And then they wrote in parentheses, did this. So they know from experience.
Okay, all right.
Any job in the mortuary business. Oh, that wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
Although they tend to be. That actually would bother me. You know what? When my father passed away in 2012, it was just planning the funeral with the mortuary and deciding on which my dad wanted to be cremated. And it was like, well, do you want this model for the urn? Do you want this one? It was just like they were salesmen.
Mhm.
So I don't think I'd want to be with somebody that works in the mortuary business or a drug dealer. I knew a friend that had a drug dealer as a boyfriend,
Okay.
and we went on vacation with them, and it was a constant bickering session on, Jeremy,
Oh,
about
so much fighting all
and
the
then
time.
and then getting
What
us involved. Like,
happened?
tell
It's
one of them
just you're
telling.
busy. Like if you go to a gay destination location and you're a fucking drug dealer, you are very busy.
Oh,
And
they
it's
were
just
still
like,
working.
yes, all the
Oh.
time on the vacation, but then also like maybe not busy enough and trying to pull like more business and stuff. So it's just a constant
Well, and then
struggle.
Jeremy, if you remember, on the other hand, the boyfriend that was not the drug dealer, friend of ours at the time, was telling us, you've got to convince him to get out of it. I want him to get a job at Apple, and he could do this. And why don't you guys talk to him? And wanted all of us to kind of talk
I know, and
to
that's not our
and it's
place
like,
either.
so now we're like the life coach here telling
I
him to get
know.
out of something that is very lucrative. And
Don't
why are
send
we
them
in the
my way.
middle? And we're in fucking Mykonos, bitch. So
I know.
yeah, no, I mean, maybe so. Definitely I learned from that because of hands-on that no, I could not. I mean, for obvious reasons, I would not want to be with a drug dealer, but for that, because I had firsthand experience. Jeremy, do you have any other jobs that would be a deal breaker?
I don't really. I don't like it's definitely not a deal breaker if I like someone
Yeah.
either. So I think it's really to me more about like the easy conversation and easy to like laugh with someone and make fun of themselves and not take things too seriously is really just what I always look for. So I'm not really hung up on the job thing. I definitely think you have to have a job, but the actual career itself does not like bother me.
The other good thing, Jeremy, about what you're doing now is you're kind of on location a lot, right? And not just stagnant in. So let's just say if you were with somebody and you move, I'm just making this up, right?
Yeah.
And you moved in with that worked from home, because studies show right now that a lot of people aren't having to go into the office as much as they used to post pandemic. So a lot of people, it was 2 or 3 days in the office. Now it's 1 day in the office.
Yeah.
So your boyfriend in your new apartment, Jeremy, that I just created out of the hat, could be living and working at home all day. Well, the good news, you're off location. You're on location a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So for sanity's sake, I think that's key. And I know you a lot, and just to not get on each other's nerves, I think for me too.
Yeah.
Kodi, how's it working with you and your life situation? Let's pick on you a little bit.
Well, my current situation is very good. Thank you very much for asking. No, I don't see. I agree with Jeremy again. I think that I don't.
Do you not agree with me?
Of course, darling. I agree with you as well.
Thanks, darling.
No, you guys are just saying that, like, it doesn't really matter their job as long as the connection is there and the type of person that they are, being able to talk to them, things of that nature. I think that I do have professions that I have preferred in the past, like creative professions. I tend to be able to talk to those people better and to have more in common with them. But that's not me trying to say, oh, I'm not going to date a salesperson, even though I can see myself probably not dating a salesperson. I'm less likely to date a salesperson, I feel like. But yeah, I just feel like when it comes to professions, I am more drawn to creative people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to wonder if there's anything. I mean, I said the drug dealer for sure. No. But in general, if you're doing what you love, then I think, and you're pursuing your dreams, then that's going to make me happy too. So I don't know if there's any one particular career that would make me, other than something illegal, where I would be worried. I think I would be worried. Yeah. Or maybe if we were both, like, if there was another. What if it was like another podcast?
Oh my gosh, the competition. Can you
imagine? And it was like a gay podcast.
What do you think?
No. I would be looking at their numbers, and I would be listening in on their shows and saying, did they talk about me? I mean, I would be horrible. I would be horrible. It would be a bad boyfriend. So that would be a no for me. Breaker. Oh, they got that advertising and I didn't, bitch. We were both up for that. I mean, it would be really bad. But this might add a little more flavor to the mix, because a recent thread was asking about our signs. How gay or straight is your zodiac sign? I'm just going to read ours, us hosts.
Okay.
And Jeremy, you're a Sagittarius, right?
Mm-hmm.
So take this with a grain of salt, because I think that this is just silly fun. Sagittarius, flaky but fruity buys is what they wrote. Just like a good apple pie, this sign is really fruity but also flaky. Jeremy, you're not flaky.
No,
at all.
Sagittarians are more likely to be queer, adventurous, fun-loving, and a little chaotic. This sign is always down to try new ideas. They're also one of the zodiac signs prone to bisexuality. Fair warning, they can also be a little unreliable because they're so flighty. If you can handle a boy or a girlfriend who's very spontaneous, they're the ones for you. I think you're spontaneous, but I don't think that you're unreliable.
No, definitely not. There's some truth in a lot that's not true there.
Yeah.
I'm going to read my next Kodi because Capricorn follows Sag, and it's just right here in my eye line, but we'll get to you in a second. Capricorn's more likely to be straight.
What? This thing.
So
Throw it away. Don't even read mine.
I know. What is it about Earth? So they say, what is it about Earth signs that make them less likely to be queer? Don't quote us on this one. Okay, we won't. But all the Capricorns we run into seem to be the straightest people in our groups. Still queer or not, a Capricorn is very level-headed and responsible. They tend to be the mom friend who scolds you for not getting enough vitamin C and makes you get home safely. You may not hook up with them, but they are great friends for life. Oh, well,
That's true.
They dismounted well, I think, on that.
But the beginning, I was like, what's going on?
I know. It was a rocky start. And lastly, of course, is Kodi, who's a Cancer. You're the most emotional gay you'll ever meet, according to this study. Do they cry when they see small animals or get weepy about rom-coms? Well, I do, actually. So I must have a little Cancer. That's the classic romantic disposition of Cancer. This sign is gay as heck and clingy to boot. And jealous as well. No, I'm kidding. I added that part.
I was like, wow, they're really hitting the nail on the head on this one.
Okay. Your Cancer love interest is probably sending you soup if you're sick or writing long letters about how much they love you. Aww. Like other water signs, they're very emotional. However, Cancers are reluctant to trust people and hide behind a tough exterior.
Ooh, that is true.
Wait and court them at a slow and steady pace to win them over. Okay. Any truth to that?
Oh, yeah.
Kodi,
Send
Maurice,
that to my
Doggette?
boyfriend. Okay.
All right. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Well, we've covered so much territory. By the way, tomorrow we are doing our Discord voice channel for our Patreon members. There's still time to join us. Tuesday, April 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. When you join our Patreon page at our subcategory and above, go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. Ready for that, Kodi?
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow?
I can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We are back on Instagram. I want to so you can follow my co-host, follow Jeremy at @JRossLopez. @JRossLopez. Follow Kodi at KMD Coaching because he's a life coach, and at Mr. Maurice. And I unblocked you, Kodi, so we're good.
Thank you.
Follow us at TAGSPodcast, and in the meantime, continue having hot
gay
sex.